All right, so last week I talked about Jonah chapter 2 and chapter 4, but I want to talk about the chapters in between because there's another similarity. Jonah follows a pattern of chapter 1 is all about the pagan sailors repenting. Chapter 2 is all about Jonah's prayer. Chapter 3 is about Nineveh repenting. And then chapter 4 is about Jonah's prayer again. And Jonah 2 and Jonah 4 are all about Jonah's change. And chapter 1 and 3 show God's consistency. So chapter 1, Jonah hops on the boat, goes to these pagan sailors. A storm comes up. The sailors immediately recognize that this is from God. And they say, Jonah, what'd you do? And Jonah goes, yeah, this is from my God. And Jonah is not setting a good example at all. He's running away from God. And yet these pagan sailors, they repent. It says they were feared of the Lord and they made offers, sacrifices, and they made vows. Possibly these sailors got saved on the boat because of Jonah's terrible testimony. And then chapter 2, Jonah is super grateful. He goes back, he goes to Nineveh. Jonah goes into Nineveh and he gives a sermon that doesn't even mention God. He goes partway into the city. He barely even tries, really. He goes into the city, does the minimum effort just to make God happy. He's just checking the box. And yet God saves the whole entire city of Nineveh. He saves the whole city of Nineveh, this wicked, corrupt city, known for skinning their enemies alive and these terrible, wicked things. Yet God saves them all. So there's two things I want to draw out of here. I want to draw the conclusion that God can save anybody. God's mercy knows no end. No matter what you've done, God can save that person. God can save you. God can save your friend that you think has no hope. And the second thing is that God can use a bad testimony. God can use Jonah, who didn't do a great job of representing God, and yet he still uses Jonah to save so many people. So it's not about your effort. It's not about how well you do. It's about how God uses you. God's mercy knows no end, and even your bad effort can be used for a holy purpose. So remember those things as you go about your week.